Last week, DBT Cloud added consumption-based pricing to their plans, and it didn't make things cheaper. In this video, I'll explain the ins and outs of DBT Cloud's new pricing. You'll find answers to questions like, how does the old price plan compare to the new one? What's this new successful model build that you're being charged for? How will the new pricing affect DBT Cloud customers? And lastly, what other options are on the table for you? First, let's compare the old price plan to the new one, and let's look at the developer tier. In the old developer tier, you got one free seat, and you could build as many models as you want at no extra cost. In the new developer tier, you still get one free seat, but you are limited to 3,000 successful model builds per month. And once you cross that threshold, you'll be required to pay, or your production jobs will stop running. Now, let's compare the team tier. To understand this clearly, let's check out the billing formula. In the old team tier, you paid a fixed amount of $100 per developer seat. In the new team tier, you pay that same fixed amount plus a variable charge of 1 cent per successful model build beyond 15K. That's a little confusing, so let's see an example. Say you have 8 developer seats in your organization and you run 95,000 successful model builds per month. In the old team tier, you pay a fixed amount of $800 per month. In the new team tier, you'd pay double. And finally, let's look at the enterprise tier. Before, prices varied, but it was typically $400 per seat per month. Now, I'm not sure exactly what it costs, but it's probably a lot more expensive. So you've heard me say that DBT will now charge per successful model build. In a nutshell, a successful model build occurs every time you have a successful DBT run in your scheduler. DBT docs also provide an example of a typical successful model build scenario. Let's say you have a schedule which contains 100 models, and on one of your runs, only 51 models are successfully built, and then the job fails. In this example, only 51 successful model builds will be counted. And next question, how will consumption-based pricing affect DBT Cloud customers? The financial impact is obvious. You will pay more. But the operational impact is less obvious. Here are a few things to consider. Will you ask your team to build fewer models to save costs? Will you ask them to write mega models with hundreds of lines of business logic? This could get ugly. Will you run production pipelines less? That would result in more stale data across your organization. And how will you ask your finance team to increase your data warehouse spend? And lastly, let's see what other options are on the table for you. At Paradime, we built a calculator to help you understand DBT Cloud's new costs and compare it to the competition. You'll discover several self-hosting options as well as Paradime. So if you're considering switching from DBT Cloud, check out Paradime.